What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to The Observant Lineman. I am your Observant Lineman, Uche Nwaneri. And once again, it appears that the Myles Garrett, Mason Rudolph drama just will not stop. Mason Rudolph has been accused by Myles Garrett once again in an Outside the Lines interview of calling Myles Garrett the N-word with a hard R.
Let's go to take him down. He said some words as we're going down.
What did he say to you?
He called me the N-word. He called me a stupid N-word.
During the altercation that they had last November in that Pittsburgh Steelers-Cleveland Browns matchup. Now, don't have to recall a lot of the info in regards to the situation as we all know it, but it goes without saying that the NFL immediately took action after Myles Garrett hit Mason Rudolph with the helmet. And we didn't actually learn about Mason Rudolph being accused of using a racial slur until days afterwards when Myles Garrett was in front of the NFL for an appeal on his indefinite suspension. Now that he has been brought back into the fold in the NFL, Outside the Lines did an interview. They asked him about the situation, and he once again doubles down on his accusation that Mason Rudolph called him the N-word. You look at the situation with Myles Garrett, you look at the situations that he's had, whether it was him saying that someone punched him in the face in his car after a game, and you look at the situation with him being fined repeatedly by the NFL for late and illegal hits, and you have a guy who is borderline being put into that same category as Vontaze Burfict. And that is not something to bode well for his career moving forward. Now, obviously, Mike Tomlin was asked about this by Stephen A. Smith in regards to whether or not he has any more to add to his defense of Mason Rudolph.
What was your reaction to Myles Garrett's accusation against your quarterback?
The most recent one this past weekend, I took offense to it, to be quite honest with you. When it first transpired during the season, we don't have a lot of time to pause and fight battles of that nature. We said our piece. We were completely cooperative with all parties involved, the Cleveland Brown organization and the National Football League office. And then we had to move on. We had another game awaiting us, and we wanted to be singularly focused. But when these allegations returned this past weekend, I thought it was appropriate that Mason is properly defended. It was a thorough investigation done by us and the National Football League. I don't think that was represented during that piece. These accusations are serious, not only in terms of Mason Rudolph's character, but his professional pursuits. Nobody on that field, as a member of the Cleveland Browns or the Pittsburgh Steelers, corroborated what was said by Myles Garrett. That was founded by us and the National Football League.
And of course, Mike Tomlin was having none of that. He still believes that Myles Garrett is telling an absolute lie. And to be honest, as a player, again, as somebody who's been out on the field, I look at the situation and I just can't find anything to help support what Myles Garrett is saying. The guy is once again doubling down on a situation in order to protect his image. He doesn't want to be placed in that same category as Vontaze. And at the end of the day, it's looking like he's still willing to continue to hedge his bets on the fact that nobody can really call him out over this situation because, again, it's a race thing. It's something that is a very touchy subject for people to really speak about honestly. And in a situation like this, how many people who aren't black are going to be able to call him out on this clearly and obviously fake lie that he is continuing to push in order to provide coverage for his own image as a player and as a person? Now, for me, what's most despicable about this situation is that when you accuse Mason Rudolph of something like that, you're putting a guy's future viability in jeopardy. Not only as a football player, but as an individual in society. This is a guy who is in the spotlight as a professional athlete. When his career is over with, people will want to do business with him because of that status as an athlete. But even with that, he has to now contend with the fact that people will want to distance themselves as quickly as possible because they're not sure whether or not to believe whether this guy is a racist or not. I don't personally believe that Mason Rudolph said it. So I can't look at what Myles Garrett is trying to convey here and take it serious at all.
I think a lot of people, when they heard this allegation, their reaction was, well, why didn't he say that immediately?
Because I would have been reaching for justification at the time. Well, he said this, and this is what happened. I wanted to just take it to the NFL. This is what happened, and this is all of what happened, as well as the physical altercation part of it.
Because the video doesn't seem to support that. The NFL investigation doesn't seem to support that. And for him to continue to push out this propaganda in order to benefit himself, it just makes him look all the more idiotic, all the more ignorant in the eyes of those who know better. And for me, as I fancy myself a smart individual, and I think I know when I hear a racial slur get uttered in a public setting, if I heard it on the field, if a teammate of mine came to me and said, hey, this dude called me the N-word in the heat of battle in a situation like it was in Cleveland in November, there would be an immediate reaction from everyone on the field, and yet there wasn't. There'd be an immediate reaction in the post-game press conference, and yet there wasn't. There'd be an immediate reaction on social media following the game from that player to clear his name by laying out the truth and the facts of the matter as to why he did what he did, and there wasn't. So at the end of the day, when nothing was done in the immediate aftermath, when nothing was done in the immediate situation of the helmet clubbing for Myles Garrett on Mason Rudolph, you got to ask yourself, why wait until you go into an NFL appeal hearing after you've been indefinitely suspended by the NFL to reveal this information, and then get upset when people reveal that information to the public? Why would you get upset about it being revealed to the public, but then some months later, you come back and you double down on it in a nationally televised interview on ESPN? Makes no sense. There's a lot that you can call into question with it, and I'm just not buying it. But let me know what you guys think. Leave your comments down below. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the Observant Lineman Uche Nwaneri and hit the like button right down below so that my video can get propped up on that YouTube algorithm. We all know how beastly that algorithm can be at times. I appreciate each and every one of you for checking out my video. I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.